Yes, morning everyone.
Morning, Humphrey.
Hope everyone is doing well. Any reactions, like how do you feel today? For the people already you have joined, you can use the reactions button to show how you feel today. Okay. Yes, thank you. I've seen some good reactions from Bridget and some other people. So before we kick off, I'll just take you through the SOPs for this session or for the whole of the masterclass. And any person speaking, because I'm getting some feedback. Okay. So let me start off. So the SOPs will go as follows. If you're not speaking, please remember to mute your mic so that we don't get feedbacks and echoes. If you want to ask any question, raise up your hand, and if it's urgent, you can type it in the chat box. I will raise it to the facilitator. And the last one is please remember to keep time or at all sessions. The sessions will be starting at 9 and will be ending at exactly 11. So the better, if you keep time, the more time we will save. Without wasting any time, let me hand over to Miss Claire Kaga to start off with today's session.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I can request you to unmute just for a minute, and if possible, at least show your video. That just get to attach your name to the face. I can see Ivan. Ivan, good morning. I can see Roy. Fine, thank you, Ivan. I can see Joshua. Joshua, good morning.
Morning.
How are you today?
Fine.
The ladies, Juliet, Bridget, Monique.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning. If you don't mind, can we just see you just for a few seconds to know who we are interacting with today? At least I've seen Joshua, I've seen Ivan. I've not seen.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning.
Unfortunately, my camera is not working. I've not yet gotten around to fixing it.
No worries. Okay. Yes, I've seen Juliet. Juliet, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Purity. I kindly request that you rename. Purity has done. You rename so that we get the person we are interacting with. Just put your first name and the organization. Thank you, Roy. Okay. Are we all able to see my screen? Just raise your hand if you're able to see my screen or show something that prove that you're able to see the screen.
The name.
Yes, we can see it.
You can see it, eh? Okay. You're most welcome to this grant proposal writing masterclass. My name is Claire Kaga. I am your facilitator today. And to kick this off, I'll introduce myself formally by sharing my profile so that you can be able to trust the person that is going to take you through today, tomorrow, and Friday. I have worked with non-profit organizations since 2009. Currently, I am the managing director of the Renewable Energy Business Incubator Limited. I'm a certified inclusive business advisor, and I've provided consultancy to businesses for the past 9 years. I hold a master's in public administration and management, and I provide consultancy for grant proposal development for various sectors. So for this masterclass, it's basically advanced learning. I'm anticipating that all of us have heard about proposal development before, but I'll do my best even for those who may actually don't know to deliver to the best of your expectations. So I would like us to introduce ourselves so that we just get to know who we are, and then we get into the session deeper. Thank you. I'll start with Roy and the Imuka team.
I seem to be having some, sorry. Sorry. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gaku Masiga Roy. I work as the lead at Imuka Access. And thanks to the partnership with the Renewable Energy Business Incubator and Africa Agribusiness Academy, we've been able to schedule this masterclass. We have both online and physical. Currently, you are in the online masterclass, and I'm actually at the location of the physical to just ensure everything is all going on well. You are most welcome. We hope you will actually achieve value. I want to assure you that you are not in the wrong place, and you will certainly see value from this. Our hope is we shall also get feedback from you on how to improve this, because we are trying to promote access to market-driven knowledge and skills from local experts, so that the entrepreneurs and the community can benefit, as well as the experts who actually have this knowledge to actually disseminate. I look forward to interacting more and learning more also from your side. Thank you very much. And thank you, Claire, for taking lead on this.
Thank you, Roy. Humphrey?
Good morning once again. Good morning, everyone. Bwire Humphrey. I'm a product development lead at Imuka Access. I will be helping and working together with the co-facilitator and the facilitators in managing this Zoom so that you get the best experience out of it. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask at any time using the chat box, or you can raise your hand so that you can be picked out to raise your question. I hope this will be a wonderful experience for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Juliet? Please unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Navagesra Juliet from Churan. I'm just a participant. I want to learn something about the grant proposal writing. and I'm very interested in this class. Thank you very much.
Juliet. Ivan?
Good morning, everyone. By names of Ivan Ruswata. I work with Joint Medical Stores under the project's logistics team. And I hope to learn more about proposal writing such that I can be able to help my organization write winning proposals. Thank you.
Thank you. Purity?
Good morning, team. Thank you so much for the hosting. My name is Purity Mukisa. I work with Joint Medical Store, still with Ivan. We hope for the best out of this. Thank you so much. Over to you, Chair.
Thank you. Joshua?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Joshua Chawakama, working Joint Medical Store as a business development officer. I am so happy to be part of this initiative, and I hope to get more skills and help my organization do better.
Thank you. Andrew?
Good morning, everybody. Can I be heard?
Yes.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, Andrew Magombe is my name. I'm from the agriculture sector, specifically in the coffee subsector. I work with an NGO, and the NGOs depend on resource mobilization through proposal writing. So I am here to enhance my skills in proposal writing.
Thank you, Andrew. Kindly indicate your organization. Bridget?
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you can hear me.
Very well.
Yeah, my name is Sugiza Bridget. I work at Marine Financial Group. I'm a business development assistant. I'm very, very excited for the masterclass today. I'm mainly looking to get more confident when it comes to writing proposals and also to support the company access to finance function where we mainly write the grant proposals. Thank you.
Thank you. We have one more. Monique? We have Monique and Jakub. Monique?
Morning, everybody. I'm Monique Vidasala. I'm a proprietor of Loben Investment. I've joined this class because I'd like to write a winning proposal.
Jakub? Please unmute yourself, Jakub, and speak to us. Jakub, are you there?
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Jakub Birong is my name. I'm a private tax consultant and an entrepreneur, freelance tax consulting, and also I'm an entrepreneur in the hospitality and agro-processing industry. So I'm here to learn more about grant proposal writing so that I can also enhance my skills and also win over investors in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To move on with the training setup, we shall be going through resource mobilization, proposal writing, which many of you are very interested in. And during the sessions, I request you to always come in with any questions or requests for clarity. This is adult learning, so it should be participatory. It's not only Claire delivering and the rest are receiving. If you have any experience that you need to share with us, you just raise your hand and you're selected to be able to share with us. Then given that we have a lot of content to share and limited time, I would request that every after the day's session, you will go back and look at the case study that we are going to be working with and you do some work on the areas we shall have covered per day, then tomorrow morning and Friday morning, we shall be having short presentations. For people from Joint Medical Stores, you can have one presentation. Then the other individual participants, you can have your own presentations. Or if you feel you need to work in groups, it's also very okay, so that we get to present and share feedback to see that we all learn and benefit from this training. Have we all received the case study, just to confirm?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Thank you, Joshua. So that means everyone from Joint Medical Stores has a copy. Anyone who doesn't have the case study, I request Humphrey to share so that we are all on the same page. Moving on, we have been talking about our expectations. So I'd like us to share our expectations. What do you majorly want to pick from here by the end of day 3? And I'd like Humphrey to capture these expectations so that we can go through them at the end of the training on Friday and get to see how far we've gone. Whether we've been able to meet some, meet all, yeah. So what are those major expectations that you really want to get out of this training? I've had at least one major one being people want to learn how to write grant winning proposals. Any other expectations that we can capture? Just raise your hand and speak, please. Yes, Bridget?
One of the things, another expectation from the program that I have is understanding what grantors are looking for when they are reading proposals. Because it's one thing to write a compelling proposal, but not really know what the grantors are looking out for. So yeah,
Okay.
that's another thing.
Okay, thank you, Bridget. Any other expectation? Feel free, participants, please, to share expectations. I can see Andrew has unmuted. Please speak to us.
Okay, can I say something, Andrew? I'm Andrew.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, would also like to know why do some proposals don't go through? You know, if we know why, then we can know how to get there.
Okay.
There could be some critical factors that may make proposals not succeed. So if we can have, by the end of the day, just a glimpse, just feel of what are those critical factors.
Okay.
I've only turned the question maybe the other way around, but critical success factors.
It's very okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Any other expectations?
Is the other one, this is Ivan.
Yes, Ivan.
The other one, maybe what I would want clarity on is that what would be the effect of consortium members if at all you come up and team up as different organizations or different parties to write proposals? What would be the effect, both positive and negative? And what factors do you look at for a team member, a consortium member?
Okay. Humphrey, I hope you've captured all those. Yeah? Humphrey?
Yes, I've captured. I used the reaction button. I hope you haven't seen, but
yes, I've seen. Okay.
Yes.
Any other expectation?
We have a hand from Elsie.
Please go ahead.
Hello, my name is Elsie.
Elsie?
Hello, are you getting me?
Very clearly. Please go ahead.
My name is Elsie,
yes,
and
Elsie.
From my side, I'd like to know, like, I have ever done a proposal before, but it wasn't it wasn't as good as I thought, and it didn't attract sponsorship or partnerships. So I would like to improve my skill and even be better to be able to attract funding for my events.
Thank you, Elsie. I'll do my best.
Hi, Claire.
Hi.
Of course, at the end of the course,
Yes,
something to prove that we have attended it.
Yes, please. We need a certificate.
Something called a certificate, I don't know, something like that to show that yes, you have been there.
Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
Imuka is handling that.
Okay.
Yes. Roy, can you confirm that? Or Humphrey?
Yes, we are going to provide the certificates after the end of the entire masterclass. We will stay in touch after the masterclass, so as you know when you're going to get it and when it's ready.
Okay, thank you. I hope that clarifies for Andrew. Any other expectation?
One more.
Okay, please go ahead.
Is it possible that beyond this training,
yes, please,
we could continue interacting? For example, if I'm trying out a proposal,
okay,
we share back with you. Would expect that now after the training, you are creating a network that we can link up with you to consult on if we are practically doing our proposals.
Yes,
ongoing capacity building.
We shall have an arrangement for that.
Okay.
Yes, Roy will be able to really keep in touch with you, but also from my side, you can always be able to contact me where you need assistance. For example, with the case study that we are going to work with today, at the end of it all, I will expect you to submit something so that I can be able to guide further based on what you will have submitted, okay? Yeah, I think we don't have more.
Excuse me.
Yes, please, go ahead.
For those members who didn't receive the case study, I've tried sending it via Zoom. There's a challenge, but it's okay. They can share their emails, and I share directly to their emails. Those who didn't get the case study.
Is there anyone who did not get a case study? Please confirm to us, because we are going to be working with that case study.
Andrew, I have not got it. So let me share my email address.
Me too, let me share.
Yes, Humphrey, please do the needful. For those who need my contact, my phone number is displayed on the screen and my email. Yes, just below my photo, that's my WhatsApp number, my private email. Okay, should we move on? You've got it right? Okay. Yes. I hope we are all able to see my screen, because this is where the presentations are going to take place. So, getting into the actual session, Humphrey, kindly mute participants just kindly unmute yourself when you're going to speak, and mute yourself as soon as you finish speaking. so that we don't interrupt the session. We are going to be sharing about resource mobilization and proposal writing. And we want to know, why do we write grant proposals? I've heard many of us are from organizations where we need to build our sustainability, to be able to get in more money for our organizations. So we need to keep knocking on people's doors, on organizations' doors, on potential funders' doors, to be able to get in money. But for you to be able to get in money, you must have a winning proposal. So why do we write proposals? Fundraising. You have a need that you want to meet. You want to create impact out there. Joint medical stores, you're in health. You've identified a community where you want to reach out to. You don't have the money, but someone else has the money, or another entity has the money. So you get into a fundraising drive, and all you have to do is to convince the person who has the money that you can actually use the money to achieve your objective and the impact that you're looking for. So for you to be able to raise money, your objective has to be in line with that of the funders, or those of the funders that you want to raise money from. Because the two of you will be, when they look at your proposal, they'll be able to relate it with their themes or objectives. Then another reason why we write grant proposals is to mobilize resources. Now, resources do not stop at money. Anytime when people talk about resources, we think about money, money, and money only. But you might not actually need only money, but you need assets. There are some funders who might not give you actual cash, but they can get a contractor to construct for you a building. Okay, you want to extend your services beyond Kampala. You need to have an office in northern Uganda, in another part of central Uganda, in the east, in the west, and you need a building, because at some point it will be very costly for you to rent, because you are there to stay. Yeah, so a funder can come in, and for them they fund constructions. You may need machinery into your business. Elsie, you might need machinery into your business and equipment. So you reach out to funders and you request for that specific machinery. A funder might tell you they have their own procurement procedures that they follow, and all they will do is to deliver the machine or equipment to your doorstep or to your business premise. The other resources that we mobilize is human resource. The people who work, the people who reach out to our stakeholders, who reach out to our beneficiaries. So what we have to do is to indicate the potential funders, the actual people, the number of people we need, the cost of the people we need, and the qualifications of the people we need. So many times for internal human resource, the funder could provide money to pay. And there are times when they can give you external experts to be able to provide the same service. And these experts will come to your office, to your organization, they deliver, but someone else is covering the cost on your behalf. So actual money might not come in, but you receive the services. Another resource is social networks, because as organizations, we do not work in a vacuum. As businesses, we don't work in a vacuum, we work with people. So you may have implementing partners, you may have business partners, you may have stakeholders, and each one of them is making a contribution to your objective or to your strategic pillar. Then we have a resource that is majorly financial, where you actually need the money. For you to be able to deliver what you have to deliver, for you to be able to reach out to your beneficiaries, you need money. So when you are looking for resources, you indicate to the potential funder that what you need is money. And then in case they actually provide money, they will be able to give you that money. Another reason why we write grant proposals is the management tool. Because when you are, we are going to see the case study, we are going to see the actual components of a proposal. This is a tool that you are going to use for day-to-day implementation, because you will have informed the funder what you need, why you need it, when you need it, for how long you need it, who you are going to work with, okay? And this proposal is what you're going to be following through once the funder gives you the money, such that you can be able to meet both your expectations and the funder's expectations. Because the two have to meet. It's not one, it's a one-way win. It's two-way. The funder, once the funder gives you money, on their side is an objective they are meeting. And on your side, there's an objective or objectives or goals that you're meeting. So sometimes what happens is we apply for funding, the money comes in, luckily, and once the money comes in, we actually do things our way. I think you've heard of some organizations where a funder comes at some point and requests for refund for their money. The reason why they request for that refund is because they have gone on ground and established that what you proposed to do is not what you have delivered. So it could be midway, they come and say, okay, thank you so much for the days we've worked together. Unfortunately, we cannot continue. So each time you write a proposal, it's going to be guiding you on how you are going to implement. Must-dos for successful fundraising. Please feel free to ask questions from each and every slide that I go to, if you have any. Getting to the must-dos, who of us has a company organization profile? Just raise your hand. I know Joint Medical Stores has. Just raise your hand if you have a yes. Yes. Joshua. What are the key issues that you indicated in that profile about Joint Medical Stores that can attract a funder to say, okay, I think I can be able to partner with Joint Medical Stores? Don't mention content, but what are those highlights that you have in the company profile that would bring someone to Joint Medical Stores?
One is the clientele. That's the services we provide.
Yeah.
The time it was established and the owners.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I like the services you're mentioning, the clientele, because when someone looks at your company profile and they are seeing your clientele, they can trust your organization even before partnering with you. Okay, so whether it's a startup business, whether it's a very big organization, you must have a good profile, which profile you keep updating. Because normally what happens to some businesses and organizations, when they get right the company profiles as they're starting, they get in some money, they forget to update. So at some point, someone wants to work with you, and when they look at your profile, it is as old as 2015, and we're in 2020. And the first question they'll ask, are you actually in business? Or are you operating? Okay. Another must do is proper accountability. Whether it is your money or someone else's money, it is a must to do proper accountability. Because guess what happens? When you reach out to a funder and you send in your proposal, part of the due diligence, they go around and see, because normally when you write a proposal, you indicate your CV as an organization, the previous partners you've worked with. So when the funder is evaluating, they reach out to this CV and get to see some potential previous funders, organizations that you've worked with, and they can be able to communicate to them to find out exactly how was your relationship the time you are working together. Were you reporting on time? Were you reporting well? Didn't you have any issues of corruption? Okay. And once everything is tick, 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 then they can be able to communicate to you and request for a meeting. If the objectives are in line with theirs, okay, and they have some funding on their side to be able to support your interventions. We have good track record. You must keep your impact recorded. However small the initiative you've conducted, even if you used $100 and there was some impact created out there, please go ahead and document it. Because funders vary. Some funders do small grants, some funders do big grants. So the more, the bigger your track record, okay, the better it is for someone to gain trust and they can be able to come in to work with you. We also have good pitching skills. You may be very good at writing. When you sit down, Andrew is good. He will write a very good proposal, okay? But when it reaches the funder's table, the funder is so impressed, okay? And the funder says, wow, I need to talk to Andrew's organization. A meeting is set up, and trust me, Andrew is not able to present what is in the document. Sometimes organizations reach out to consultants. Consultants develop very good grant proposals, or even for those who are doing businesses, business plans, but the organization itself or the company cannot be able to present what the consultant developed. So even if the owner of the organization or the company does not have good presentation skills, if you have a team member that can be able to present, even if it is your junior, you can actually go along with them to the meeting and then give them an opportunity to present. Because with grant or resource mobilization, it is about convincing. You must convince the funder that one, when you're given the money, you're going to deliver according to their expectations. Mark, you much as you want to meet your objectives, the funder wants you to meet their expectations. Okay? Then we have marketing. Do you have a website? Do you keep updating it? Because we normally see websites, copyright down here was as at 2017, and we are in 2020 heading to 2021. So if you have a website, when you send in a proposal, you've indicated in your address, your website, the very first thing the funder is going to do before even looking for anyone outside, they'll go to your website and get to see what are your previous works, okay? Who have you worked with? Who have you benefited? Social media pages these days are really the in thing. Yeah. So what happens is they just type in your name and a lot of information about you comes. In case you've had any challenges in communications that have come probably from both within and outside your organization, make sure they are always cleared. There are organizations where there might be issues, and for example, there is a corruption scandal or a setup. It could be a setup, by the way. Once something comes out about your organization in the media, whether print, because these days, you know, much as everything is put on print, as soon as it is put on print, the following morning, it is on social media. So once you have any challenge, you make it public, you write a communication from your organization clearing the air about what was published about your organization, such that when someone is looking for your organization, the matter might rise, but then there is a letter from your organization indicating that it was cleared, or it was actually a lie. It wasn't true about your organization. Because at some point, competition forces companies, especially, to get bad mouthing for one another. Yeah. Then another must do is networking. Keep building your network. There are some times when you might not be able to see a call for proposals. And the person who is in your network might see it. They see that the objectives that are indicated and the eligibility criteria suits your company. They will forward to you this call so that you can be able to give it a try. Sometimes it may be published in the newspaper, and that day you are not able to buy the newspaper. So for you to be able to keep all these calls coming in and all the communications, make sure you keep a very good network. Sometimes funders don't even issue calls, but they reach out to organizations they have previously worked with, what we call selective bidding, and they send out those calls. So when you have a good network, you may not be the main applicant, but a company can request you to get into a consortium to be able to jointly apply for the call. So the bigger your network, okay, because we are normally told your network is your net worth. There are even some companies, when they are coming towards end of the year, they have not achieved some of their objectives, they have a lot of money, they're looking out for those organizations that can be able to deliver very fast. They will reach out to you and tell you, okay, we have some money here. Can you send us a proposal for just 6 months implementation of a project? This is not something you're going to put in the newspapers because time is against them. And yet on your side, you can be able to deliver in the 6 months. It could be a small or short project. So they reach out to you and then you can be able to get this funding in. Any questions at this point before I move on?
This is Juliet.
Yes, Juliet.
Like at first, when you're talking about the company profile, you have said that
yes,
for someone to access the grants or the funds,
yes,
your business has to be working.
Okay.
Is it like someone who is not yet in the operation can't access the funds from the funders? Or even that someone who is just going to start can access the funds?
Thank you very much, Juliet.
That's my question.
Thank you very much, Juliet. Actually, anyone, whether you've started or not, you can be able to apply and access funds. So for those people who have not yet started, okay, you will be able to write this good proposal. And in the proposal, you're indicating that you are planning to establish. Elsie, I'll get you, please. You're indicating that you are planning to start Okay, if you're planning to start, the funder is not going to look for a company profile because they know you are just planning to start. Okay, and then
Yes.
you could be planning to start something, but you've done another project. It might not be similar to what you're planning to do. Which other project can be referred to? Okay, so
Yeah.
mentioned, anything small that you do, it may not be under the company that you're registering. It might be Juliet as an individual. It is assignment. Okay, so keep track of each and everything that you're doing, as long as it is actually creating impact out there and something that can be put your name and it keeps building your name. So for someone, actually, when you're getting to start, good pitching skills is very, very key. Okay. Then also the network, because for someone to give you money, they might ask, okay, who have you worked with before? You're now in a meeting. They have looked at your good proposal. They want to know who have you worked with before. Okay. And then you refer to, you may have worked there as Juliet, you refer to that person or that organization. They can reach out to them because you've seen many times they request us to put at least 3 referees. You've seen that. Even
the referee?
3, there are times when they ask for referees. Okay. Now, even if you have 1 referee, indicate 1. Don't lie about the references just because you need the money in. Because once someone gets trust in what you're doing, even 1 referee can be able to give a good recommendation and you get money into your company. I hope I've responded, Juliet.
Yeah, it is fine now. It is clear. Thank you.
Welcome. Elsie?
Yes, can I ask something? Sorry.
Elsie had put her hand. Elsie, please go ahead.
Okay, I wanted to inquire. Are you getting me?
Sorry, Elsie, I
Are
didn't
you
get you
getting
right.
me?
Now I'm getting you. Have I lost you, Elsie?
Can I ask?
Please go ahead, Andrew.
What are the key components of a good company profile? The colleague mentioned them, but I think it was a bit fast. What are the key components of a good company profile?
Okay. 1, what services you provide? That one is a must because someone has to relate either products or services. If you're into the business of providing products, what products do you provide? Okay. You could be a producer, you could be a distributor. Yeah. Who are your clients? Who have you worked with before? Who have you supplied before? Okay. Then your contact details, because these days when I need to know about Andrew, I'll just type in your 2 names into Google and something will pop up as long as you've done something somewhere and it's into the media. Yeah, even if it is school, the university you went to or the college you went to, you might find it in the media already, or it could be social media. Yeah. Then we get with the clients, that's where we are getting the track record. Yeah?
What is it? What is it? Yeah, Vifaranga.
Andrew, are we, I think there's someone who has, Andrew?
Yes, I've unmuted. Let me mute
yes.
so that I can.
The most important thing, like I mentioned, are the products or services, your track record, who you are working with, and you as a person or as an organization. What is your work? That is what we call a company profile. What is your work? Who have you worked with? That we can be able to refer to so that we can be able to trust your services or your products. Okay, that's why you'll find someone putting the work to so and so. This is their name, this is their contact, this is their email. The company profile is someone who wants to know what you're doing, who you're working with, and how can they be able to work with you. Okay.
Effective.
Thank you. Elsie?
Hiyo nayo ukichukua hiyo utatunyima haraka sana, ni naisha ndio inadumu.
Hello, are you getting me?
Yes, Elsie. Sorry, you had some background noise. Can you get back? Please unmute. Okay, Juliet, I think you've unmuted. Elsie, we were not able to get you. Elsie, are you there? Okay. Can I request to move on? When Elsie comes, I can get back to her question. Let's move to how to mobilize resources, because we've earlier talked about resource mobilization, what we need to do, why, and the must-dos. Now we are getting into how to mobilize resources. Okay? The very first thing you're going to do is to develop a list of donors or financiers, okay, that fund what you do. So it could be government, it could be private sector. There are so many donor agencies, embassies, the European Union, NGOs, okay? Some are international, but we also have some local funders. So you go ahead and develop that list. If you're into agriculture, okay, you look for those who are in that sector. If you are into health, joint medical stores, you make that list of the potential funders that you can reach out to. Now, after making that list, you're going to look for information about their thematic areas. Which areas do they fund? Okay. There could be funding health. Okay, what exactly do they fund in health? Do they fund research? Do you have a research component as part of your work? Okay. Do they fund physical, like medicine? If they do that, then you know, okay, there's a tick, I've got the funder, they're into our sector, they fund medicine or they fund research. If you need capacity building for your staff, do those people fund capacity building? Because these days there are very many funders who are actually funding capacity building. Okay? There are those who want to do marketing campaigns. That's the funder actually fund marketing campaigns. So after doing that, now for you to be able to get all this information, funders will always have websites. If they're actually authentic funders, they always have websites. Yeah. Funders publish calls on their websites, also in the media. Sometimes when they do a call, because they might have a lot of content, they might do a very short call and they refer to their website for more information on the call. Then also through networks, we get information about these funders. Like I mentioned earlier, someone gets a call and they reach out to you to form a consortium. Okay, so once we've got the funders, we've got their thematic areas, we've got what they fund, and we fit in all those, then we can be able to develop a proposal that suits both our objectives and what they fund. Moving on, We identify partners. Some may be local, some may be international. But it's very good to have a partner whose objectives are very similar to yours, such that you do not conflict. Whatever you're discussing is in agreement, or your work is feeding into their work, or their work is feeding into your work. So as you're identifying partners and ensure that they have a good track record. Because you may have a good track record and you look for partner X and their track record is not the best. So you put their CV as part of your consortium. And once the funder is reviewing, they're like, oh, this one has a dent. Sorry, we can't continue. And that is where your proposal will end. Okay? Now, forming consortiums, we are looking for big money to do this big project or big program, okay? That will have offices in the city centers and down deep in the communities. We might not be able to spread ourselves everywhere. What do? We look for people, they will have an office in the north or an office in Eastern Uganda, depending on where you're going to implement your initiative or you plan to implement your initiative. So you look for a number of partners who are feeding into your work. You reach out to them. If it's a call for proposals, you share it with them. And then you get to work and see who of us will be doing what. So when you're forming a consortium, you have to be very clear on the roles of each and every partner, so that you avoid conflicting or duplicating roles. Then you've identified the partners. What else do? You go ahead and write the proposals, because we are mobilizing for resources. I can see a hand from Joshua.
My question is about the consortiums.
Yes, please.
Do you require like two company profiles? How do you handle the issue of company profiles if you're going for a consortium?
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Some funders request that each and every entity that is part of a member of the consortium presents a brief profile. Some funders request for just a registration certificate. Because once you're registered, they can be able to find that information somewhere about this member of the consortium. But also on your side, it is very safe to have the company profile of the members of the consortium, because it helps you. They may be able to invite only Joint Medical Stores for the interview. And when you get to meet the funder, they want to know information about your consortium members. So if you don't have their company profile, it might be difficult for you to be able to give information about them. So once you reach out to potential consortium members, request one, their company registration documentation, okay? Two, their company profile. If it is already on their website, get that website, download the company profile, or go and read it as you prepare for the fundraising. Yeah. Then when we get to the grant proposal, I'll also echo this. There are times when you have to write a proposal that you don't have a template to refer to. In such a scenario, provide as much information as possible. Whether they want the consortium members' company profiles or not, provide them. It is upon them to decide whether to read and refer to them or not. But it's good for you to know what the consortium members are doing and how they're fitting into your work. Thank you. Any other question there? I talked about.
Claire.
Yes, please.
On partner identification.
Yes, please.
Can this fit what you are saying? For example, an NGO is implementing a project, but it is going to implement in the communities where it can't reach the community, but it identifies government extension workers and enters into a partnership, collaborative arrangement with the local government staff.
Okay.
So this maybe you fund them partly their fuel, but they're using their motorcycles, and you work with them to reach their communities. Can that be a partner identification and collaboration?
Yes, it is actually a partner because you've talked about the local government you're reaching out to.
Okay.
And it would be very good for consortium members to have an agreement. What is expected from either side, from your company and also from, yes, you're going to fuel them. At some point, when you're providing your accountability, the funder is going to ask, okay, there are some funders who even have templates for accounting for, and they are seeing this number of motorcycles. Then they want to know, who did you partner with? Then you say, we partnered with this local government. Do you have any documentation to back up that?
MOU?
Yes, and then you indicate that, yes, we went into an MOU with these people, and because we wouldn't be able to reach the places where they are working from. So to make work easy and also to reach our beneficiaries, we partnered with them. Here is the MOU, and you present it, and that will be it. But then it is also very good to keep informing the funder of the other partners that you're getting on board. Okay? Because they might think that you took money from the local government and it did not reach the beneficiaries. Yet on your side, you actually, okay? Have I answered that, Andrew?
Yes, thank you very much for that.
Welcome. I'm seeing a question from Elsie. She'd like to inquire about the profile and CV. Elsie, did you get the response? Elsie? Elsie, unmute yourself.
Okay. I would like to ask several questions.
Okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, Elsie.
Okay, I would like to. Okay, about the profile, you talked about the honors.
Yes.
The services you offer. Yes. The services you offer.
Yes.
Is there any other thing that is important to be added on the profile?
The number of things that you can add, but most important is you as the owner, because people relate with what you do. You know, everyone that we work with wants to benefit from us. Okay? People want to, even the funders, much as they're giving you money for you, you're seeing it as a benefit to you, but they're actually benefiting a lot more than you're benefiting sometimes. So people want to know what are you.
Yes.
So for it says detail it, then you also indicate the partners. Sorry, I have a lot of background noise, Elsie. Be able to indicate the partners that you're working with, okay? Or anyone that you have worked with, and then the history of your company or organization. So you may be doing work that is different from currently, that is different from what the funder is funding, but you did some work in the previous years and it relates to what the funder is interested in, then they can look at your profile and reach out to you. Okay? Yes, Elsie, another question? You mentioned that you have a number of questions. request to move on. Else wants to know if it's important to attach the company certificate in every proposal. It is actually important to attach a company certificate because it helps in building trust. Once you're a registered entity, people can be able to look and find you. Okay? So when you're given a template and they are not requiring you to put that information, you might not give in a certificate, but at some point when they read your proposal, they can come back to you and ask for more information from you, and they may need a certificate. But if it's an open submission without a template, please go ahead and give as much information as possible. Give the registration certificate, give the partner certificates, and the profiles like I mentioned earlier. Thank you. I'm seeing a question from Purity. Would it be possible to share the slides after the trainings? Yes, it will be possible. About the CV, please shed more light. Elsie, the CV is Elsie as a proprietor of this company. What is Elsie's with this company? Okay. What have you done? Because normally in the CV, we indicate who we are, what we are doing, what we have done. Okay, so that people can be able to just look at our CV and they trust that they can be able to work with us. Okay. So this CV is indicating LC, proprietor, you're indicating the contacts, your address. Okay. Some people want to know, are you able to communicate in the language that they use? If you have beneficiaries that are speaking a local language, can you be able to actually speak that local language? So some people want to know the number of languages that you can speak, which areas that you've worked in. So anything about you and the company, as long as it's relevant to that organization, you give that information. That's why we normally do, like there can be a call and I present not my entire CV, but just my profile. For example, if I am bidding for development of a grant proposal, there are some areas of my CV that I will not indicate. If it's looking at majorly grants, I may not include a lot of information. Sorry, else you have background noise? I may not include a lot of information about my business background and concentrate on the grant proposal development background. Okay? Yeah, I request to move on. I talked about us being accountable. Okay? For any resources, whether they are yours or someone else's resources, please be accountable. If there are no more questions, I request to move on. Elsie, you have another question? Please go ahead. Elsie? Elsie, please go. Yes, Ivan. Okay. We are done with the resource mobilization, how we are doing it, and you know who we want to do. Yakub, you have a question? Yakub and Elsie, you're unmuted. Do you have questions? Hello? Okay. Let's move to proposal writing, because we've talked about raising resources and we need to write a proposal. So what is a proposal? Elsie, please speak to us.
I think Elsie as is having audio issues, she can write her questions in that box so that the entire class is not disorganized. Is that okay?
It's very okay. Kindly send her a communication privately, because I keep muting her and she mutes and I'm not hearing her. Elsie, kindly put your comments in the chat. I will respond to you. Humphrey, kindly reach out to Elsie. What is the proposal? This is a statement of needs. Joint Medical Stores is fundraising. What do we need? Okay. Your business is fundraising. What do you need? That is what you put in the proposal. Yeah. So you apply, indicating your needs so that you can get a response from the funder or the potential partner. Proposed forms of proposals, there are majorly two. We talk about the bids, the tenders, but many of them fall within. We have what we call a concept note. Funders sometimes require a concept note for you not to waste a lot of your time on developing a proposal that they may not accept. So what happens is they request you to present a concept note, which is a very brief document about the statement of needs, okay? Why you need the funding, what are you going to use the funding for, who are you going to work with, what timelines do you have for your intervention? So it is similar to a full proposal, but everything is in summary. Okay? Thank you, Yakub, for that comment. Everything is in summary for a concept note. For some funders, they request for the concept notes, they look at them. Yeah, Purity, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to find out how long a concept note should be, because when you say short and brief, is it like a one pager, two, or? Thank you, over to you.
Thank you, Purity. Maximum 2 pages would do for a concept note. Because, you know, a document of 2 pages is easy for someone to read. Better if you can do 1 page, but if 1 page at some point might be too short, but a funder might say, do not exceed 1 page. So you just do a 1 pager. But if it's open, maximum 2 pages. That when someone completes page 1, by the time they're getting to page 2, they are finalizing. Yet a proposal can go to as big as 40, 50, 60 pages, depending on what information is required. Have I answered you, Purity?
Yes, please, you've done that. And maybe just to find out, would it be possible for us to just share a bit of concept note in one of the exercises or something like that?
You want like me to share with you, or as a team we go through a concept note? Is that what you?
We could go through it as a team.
As a team. Okay, we are going to go through the content of a proposal. The concept note, it is basically a summary of the proposal. Okay? So once we go through the full proposal content, you can be able to develop a concept note. However, if you're able to move very fast on Friday, I can spare a few minutes, just give time to only the concept note. Okay? Okay. Thank you, Purity. Humphrey, kindly record that so that we get to return to it on Friday. Elsie, you have a question? Okay. Moving on to the full proposal. Some funders provide a template that they want you to put only the information that they have requested for. So for that one, kindly put only what they have requested for, because once they find that there is more information that they need from you, they write to you after receiving your proposal, and then you give more information. So don't put information that they have not asked for just because you want to convince them. Put only what they have requested for. Okay? Then, when it is open, a funder sends out a call. For example, the case study that we have. Okay? The case study that we have, it has a template, okay? It has a template which has a lot of information. There are some funders who might come to you and they don't want all that information. Yeah? So once it is open to you, you have the freedom to give as much content as possible, because we said when you're writing a proposal, you want to win the fund or the resources that you're looking for. This one normally takes some good time when you don't have a template. Then there are also funders who provide very big templates. And yet for that template, everywhere where they have indicated, if you don't have that information that they are requesting for, indicate no available information. If you have, put all the information. Okay. We are moving on to the contents of a proposal. So here you're welcome to ask as many questions like you've been asking as before. Yeah. We start a proposal with an introduction. Okay. Who are you? I am Joint Medical Stewards. I was established this year. My offices are in Zambia. I hope so. That's the last time I knew. I have offices up country. If you have them, they are in these districts. These are our services. Now that is about the organization or your company. That is the introduction, such that someone gets to know who is writing this proposal. In brief, you don't have to exceed a page with your introduction, because funders don't have time to read a lot of content. That's one thing you must ensure. That when you're writing the proposal, first of all, start with the most relevant information. And what is not very relevant can come at the end. Because once you don't have the information in the first 3 or 4 lines, yeah, someone might not have time because they have received 1,000 proposals and they want to fund only 10. Okay, and they don't have a big team. Some funders contract to do for them the review of the proposals. Some funders do it themselves. So be short and precise, but give the most important content about you. For the background, talk about your country. Where do you want to do this initiative? What is the population? Because there are people, when we are in Uganda, we assume that everyone knows what Uganda is. When we are in Kenya, we assume that everyone knows about Kenya or about East Africa. Okay? Please don't assume. Take it that I don't know about you or your country. So just give me a brief about your country. Then we move to that. When you look at the case study, I hope Humphrey you've shared with everyone.
Yes, I've done that.
Can I request that we open our case studies? If you're using a computer, show me. Because whatever I have here appears in that case study. We all have our case studies open. Please just raise your hand.
Mine is open.
Thank you. Because we are going to be using this for the exercises. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to display what Humphrey shared with you so that we are all on the same page. I know some colleagues might be using phones. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, please, we are.
So we have a case study here. Yeah. And in this case study, there's a call for proposals. Eligible countries: Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda. Now, Funder X is inviting for proposals from small and medium enterprises. And they want to give them free money because a grant is free money, but you have to work for it. You must have innovative solutions that increase revenue, create jobs, and improve farmer incomes. Now, joint medical stewards, you're in health. What you're going to do, you can still relate to the case study with health. Okay? For you to, the entity has 5 million USD, and the maximum award is 500 per enterprise or per organization. This means from the 4 countries, only 10 will be considered in the total of 4 countries. So what happens? The countries that present the best proposals are the ones that will be taken. For example, if Uganda presents all the 10 and they are the best, much as the funder wants to work in Kenya and Tanzania, there will be a very big reason for them to move to that other proposal outside the 10. However, if there is such a call where you have all these 4 countries, the competition is very, very high. So you must do a very good proposal for you to convince. Because experts in doing proposals are in all these countries. Even the SMEs themselves. There are even those who might actually not be very good at writing proposals, but their track record is very good. Okay? So when you look at the call, yes, the money looks very nice and very attractive. Move to the eligibility criteria. And they are saying the SME must be registered. So if you're not registered, what can you do? You can look for a partner. We talked about partner identification earlier. Look for a registered partner and form a consortium with them. So the registered partner will be the lead applicant, and you'll be a member of the consortium who is going to be partnering with the lead applicant. And the call is mentioning that consortiums with similar objectives are eligible. They are saying all members must be registered. What does it mean? If you're not registered, you're actually already thrown out, much as the lead applicant is registered. So let's assume you're registered, you've got partners, you formed a consortium. The lead applicant must have been in operation for a minimum of 5 years. So you may be the one that saw the call, but your business has been operational for 2 years, but you have a network of people who have worked with businesses, and these businesses have been running for 5+ years. Don't be selfish. Reach out to them. Share the opportunity with them, because you with your 2 years, much as we want to fund you, normally, if an enterprise has stayed in business for 5 years, there are key things that they have done. There's experience that they have been able to get along the 5 years. They have burnt their fingers several times and the fingers have healed. They have made mistakes and they have corrected them. Okay? They have marketed themselves and now they are getting to be known, or they are already known. That's why the funder normally looks at a given number of years. However, there are also calls that might come out when they want some entities that are within 2 years. Okay? So if you're not 5 years, you're 2 years, we've looked for a partner, they apply, and we are working with them. Must have an office in the country of operation. Okay? Now you're based in Uganda, you have an office in Uganda, you're eligible. Must have audited accounts for at least 3 years. Your organization is 2 years. Yeah? You cannot have audited accounts for 3 years. So still look for a lead applicant in the network who has been there for 5+ years and they have the audited accounts. The funder has reasons why they're looking for the audited accounts. Okay? Must demonstrate capability to account for the grant funds. Do you have an accountant? Do you have an accounting system? Have you run or implemented similar programs or projects before? Okay? All the funder needs here is to gain trust of you. Yeah? I'm trying to see the chat. Something came in. Humphrey, have you seen it? I don't know why it's not displaying. Humphrey?
Yes,
what is in the
Purity?
Yes, please.
Yes, Purity is asking, how then is the grant shared after winning?
Purity, I like that question. Now, Purity, when we are applying for this money, we have come together as partners. We have specified our roles, and all roles come with a cost. Okay? So you should be able to sit during the grant application process, and you agree based on your contribution as an organization to the proposed project. Based on your roles, what will be your costs? There are some scenarios where people get to apply, they include your company, and when the money comes, they implement and forget about you. All that has happened. So it is better you actually get into an agreement. It doesn't have to be a big document, okay? Because you may have applied basing on a gentleman's agreement. Now, when the money comes, you know what happens normally when people receive money? Sometimes people get greedy. So Purity, agree on how this is going to be shared based on your roles. You may have seen the call as joint medical stewards, but the lead applicant, okay, company Y, is going to do more work, or you're going to do more work. Go and bargain for that. At the time of applying for the funding, okay? Such that you agree once the money comes in, Because normally what happens, when we get the money in, we call for a meeting with all the partners that we are going to work with. Because what is in the grant proposal, when we get the money, we get to sit again, and now we are planning for implementation. We propose that Joint Medical Stores is going to do ABC. Claire's
Excuse me.
to do, yes, please.
Yeah, Purity is continuing with the question. Is it the
Don't
lead
worry,
company
don't worry. I'm going to respond to that. I've got to the chat. Thank you very much, Humphrey.
Okay.
Yes. Is it the lead company that takes most of the roles, or we can use them for the call and pay them? Wow, that's an interesting one. Now, Purity. The lead company, you may have used them because they meet the eligibility criteria. Okay? You can actually agree that the lead company is coming in as a consultant for a given component or roles that they are going to play. So you can agree with them and you say, Andrew, I'll respond to you. And you say, this is what you're going to do in this, when we get the money, and this is how we are going to compensate you. And you agree. So when the money comes, you go back to your agreement and you implement, you pay them, okay? But remember, what is interesting about the lead companies, normally, they take the credits, but they must acknowledge that they worked with you. That is something that you must agree, because all of you are making a contribution. All of you have to be referred to, and even for future marketing, okay? You agree that in that agreement, you agree that you will be able to use the impact of that initiative for marketing either of the parties. I hope I've responded, Purity. There's a question from Roy, you have a question?
No, Claire, I'm very okay. I'm actually following. Please proceed.
Yeah, Andrew has a question.
No, mine is an observation.
Yes, please.
That sometimes
Yes,
we
please.
have had examples where you have such arrangements, but as soon as the grant is won, maybe the project is for 5 years.
Okay.
They start implementing.
Okay.
Then in the first year, once the lead agency knows that it has got it, it kicks away the other one. Yeah. So in such a scenario, I think it would be very, very important that maybe you do those agreements properly.
Thank you
and ensure that the clauses that protect you are well stipulated. Otherwise, since the other one has the control, there's a likelihood of over-dominating and they kick you out. You know what happens with the money? They kick you out. There's also the other way around where you find a big organization wants a grant or to win a proposal, but for it to win a proposal, it may have to use the leverage of a certain organization, which is a small one and whatever, because of its being on ground. And once the grant is won, the same story happens. They kick you out. And so such cases have been happening actually.
Yeah.
So I think maybe more emphasis on how to protect those risks is very important from the very beginning.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I hope we've got it, we've got it, participants. Because normally when you meet this partner, because you have your strength as a business, as an organization, you have your strength, and you know your strength. Okay, much as you're going to get someone as the lead applicant, it doesn't mean that your role is minor. You have a role to play. Okay, by the time you looked out for them, you have a role to play. So bring it on table and you indicate to them that this is how we are going to work. The challenge we have is we are shown that first to have an agreement, it must go to this lawyer, we must spend these millions, you know, have a write-up that binds the 2 or 3 or 5 of you prior to getting the money in, to avoid the scenarios that Andrew is mentioning, because they are common. When people get the money, their ears are closed and all they're focusing on is how do we spend this money. And the challenge is they might implement and they don't deliver according to the way you agreed in the proposal, and you're implicated as a consortium member or as a partner. Okay? Purity has a question, sorry to take you back, just in case there is no call for proposals anywhere. What happens if you have ideas? Purity, if you have ideas and you know that this organization funds those ideas, write your proposal, request for a meeting, and you share that proposal with them. Okay? Another question, I document them. Can I start looking for the grants, or go ahead and look for the grants? You don't need, actually, some, like I mentioned when we are just started, sometimes funders don't even issue calls, but they have money. Sometimes they have implemented a 10-year project, they are midway, 5 years, and the results are less than even a quarter of what they anticipated. And they don't actually have time to send out calls for proposals. Yes, it is a procedure, but you'll even find that given the short timing, you might get in at a time when they need you most. Okay, and they tell you, we've looked at your proposal. Can you add this? Can you add this? When are you ready to start? Yeah, and then you get to work. So you don't have always to see a call. There are times when there is no call. Keep knocking on those doors. As long as we mentioned earlier, check their websites, get to know their thematic areas, write your proposal, suiting both the objectives and their expectations, and you submit. I move on. You should be able, I'm now on the criteria, second last bullet, you must be able to make significant cash or in-kind contributions to the project. Funders these days add this because they want to reduce the risk. Why they are doing this is they have given out money to organizations, 100% grant, and the 100% has actually done nothing. The money has all been used. Sometimes when people close the offices and disappear, and the funder is left in a very difficult situation. So when you commit some resources as a company, as an organization, you want to get back either profits, you want to get back impact, okay, to keep building your profile. So you might be able to propose that we shall make a contribution of 10% or 15%. There are even some funders these days who will say, for you to be eligible, you must be able to contribute 25%, and they're giving 75%. So you might not have all the funds with you, but when you're 3 partners, each one of you can be able to contribute, and you get a 25%, 10, 10, 5, okay? Or one could have more money and they do 15, the rest of you do 5, 5, but they just want to check your commitment. The last bullet, be able to directly impact hundreds of people and community members. This gets with impact. We have that in the template. Who are you going to reach out to, and what impact are you going to make in the society out there? So submission, hours here we had a template. So the funder wants this template. They don't want your own. So please don't develop your own. Like I mentioned, when sometimes they send out calls, it may be brief. Make sure you get to their website and look for more information on the call. So if there's a template, follow that template. I have an experience to share. I had a call for proposals that I was working on, I saw the call. It was a good one. Everything was fitting in our objectives. I requested my colleague to start on the proposal. The colleague started and shared with me a draft. Then I took some time, building up this draft and putting everything in shape. And the proposal was looking good. One day to the deadline, I go to the website. Guess what? I find a template. A big template that needed me to use more than 24 hours to complete. Trust me, I had a sleepless night for me to be able to complete that template. Yet my colleague had taken time and had also taken time to work on the proposal prior to us seeing the template. So read every information carefully and make sure that, because it is, you need the fund. So you have to provide this information and you have to abide by the rules. Okay? Then we have a deadline there. So getting to more work. I know we have a few minutes remaining, but let's start on this. Have a question? Yes, please. Juliet.
I want to ask, yes, there is a part where you've said, like in this case study,
yes, please,
that someone has to contribute. Let me say, me, the person who is applying for the funds.
Yes, please.
That we have to make some contribution. Let me say that I don't have that cash. Is it that the fund isn't going to give me the fund just because I wasn't able to contribute anything, or?
Thank you, Juliet. The contribution cash or it can be in kind. Okay. For example, you have an office. You have an office, and you're already paying for its rent. You're already paying for its rent. Okay. And you're just going. You are just going to provide this for maybe the project manager. Okay. And you other staff part-time on that same project. Yeah. So what you do, you quantify that in-kind contribution. A project is 3 years. How much rent would this office pay for those 3 years? Okay. You indicate. You have computers. You indicate. You have furniture. You indicate. You have a motor vehicle. Instead of money for vehicle hire, you're going to use your vehicle that you have currently. So you indicate those areas that you're going to make a contribution. Okay.
All right, I wanted to ask that.
Okay, thank you. There's a LC about the submission. Are the things included on the case study applied in all proposals, or they are the instructions for this specific case? What I present here are mainly what most funders look for. But like I mentioned earlier, not every call will come when they need all this information, but these are key for each and every fund, okay, as we shall be going through. I hope I've responded to that. So can we move ahead? The silence means yes. In the case study we have, are you seeing what I've shared? My presentation?
No, please share your screen. It's not being shared.
What have I shared? You're seeing my screen, right? Humphrey, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, yes. Yes, we are seeing it.
In our case study, we have a problem that we have to communicate.
There must be a problem. It doesn't hear that.
Andrew?
Yes.
Andrew? You're raising something? Okay, thank you. We have a need, okay, in our company for people who are doing business. You are producing a certain product A, okay? But you want to upscale. You need a specific machine for you to be able to upscale. So your need is the machine. So in this case, it is a problem because you're not able to upscale because you don't have the machine. So you're indicating that you have a very big market, but you're not able to satisfy your market, okay? For people who are looking for grants, you want to reach out to that community, but you don't have the money to reach there. You want to expand your operations, but you don't have the funds, okay? So you state in the problem, you state what you want, what pain is actually happening, that pain that is prompting you to look for this money to be able to meet the need out there. And once you're stating your problem, if it is in district A, we are in Kampala, Joint Medical Stores wants to reach out to people in Kasubi, okay? There is probably an outbreak of some medical condition, yeah? Please give us the information. Document that information of the problem. What is the problem? Quantify that problem and tell us where this information is coming from. Because the fund is actually going to go sometimes and look for that information to confirm. And once you quote sources, please give us the most recent information. Don't quote 2008, because probably a similar condition could have happened in 2008. And you're asking for money in 2010, really. Don't you think there are other people who have come in to solve the problem already? So get the most recent information and show the funder why it is really a pain, okay? And this pain is something that you can be able to address, but the only missing link is the money. The problem is out there. You're here, you have the capability, you have the staff, you can be able to reach out to these people, but you don't have the money. So you indicate to the funder that this is the problem, it is happening here, and we shall be able to solve it once we do a ECD. Okay? People who are in business, you are an exporter, or even here in the country, you have a product, supermarkets are reaching out to you, they want you to supply the product, but you have a low staff structure, you have very few machinery, your space is very small, but your product is very good. You've really taken time on your product, okay? So you reach out to a funder and be sure this is the situation. And once you give me money, I'm going to be able to reach these 100 supermarkets. And with 100 supermarkets, I'll be able to reach how many people? 1,000 or any other number that you think is suitable. And when a funder is looking at the problem, it should be in line with the problems that they want to address. Okay? Don't get a funder who is financing health, and now you want to present farmers' problems. Okay? We have read earlier that you must have the objectives of the funder in mind and their expectations. Then, once we've documented this problem or the situation at hand, you propose solutions. What are you going to do to solve the problem? So, if the number of problems that we have mentioned, okay, health, like disease outbreaks, you want to provide your medical solution, okay? Each problem that you've mentioned must have a solution proposed. Because now for solutions, we are proposing them, because once the funder gives us the money, we get to implement and provide these solutions, okay? So after you've documented the problem, all the problems and the proposed solutions. You move ahead and do the project description. You're telling the funder your goal, okay? You've identified a community. These days, Uganda is complaining a lot about youth unemployment. And you know, when you upscale the operations of your business, you can be able to fund and bring a total of 10 plus staff, okay? You inform the funder about there is unemployment. It could be in Uganda, it could be in Kenya or any other country that you're applying for this money. And you're informing the funder that this is long-term as an objective, but once you give me money, we shall be able to accomplish it. Okay? We are saying the objective of goal must be SMART. We want to reach out to 10,000 people with our product, with our medical solution by 2025. You've mentioned the solution, you've mentioned the target group, and you're mentioning the timeline. So if the funder funds initiatives up to 5 years, they'll be able to look at your proposal with the second eye. If their initiatives last for 2-3 years, they can come back to you in case your proposal is appealing, and they say, can you scale down to 3 years? Because you indicated your goal is clear by this time. And by this time, you're indicating the actual timeline, the actual year. That's what we call it SMART. And it should be measurable. Someone should be able to come on ground and see the impact of their funding. It should be attainable. Because once we're applying for money normally, like everything is too big. And we see once the money comes in, we are going to do. But do you have enough capacity to actually achieve what you're proposing? You have a team of 2 people, okay? And you want to reach out to 10 districts. Fine. Do you have partners in all those districts to work with so that you can be able to achieve your goal? Because you don't need to have very many staff. You can work with partners and still achieve your objective. Okay? I've talked about being time bound, and it should be realistic. Don't propose solutions really that are out there in the sky when you're here on the ground. You want to solve youth unemployment in Uganda. Even the government of Uganda has not yet achieved it. Yet they receive taxpayers' money daily. How about you, an individual or an individual organization? You want to solve youth unemployment in Uganda. Tell us how many people you want to bring on board. Whatever we are doing, we are making a contribution. We are not solving the entire problem. We are making a contribution. Quantify that contribution that you're going to make. Okay? Now, ladies and gentlemen, according to our timing, we have 2 minutes. Can I get questions and we'll wrap up our session for today?
Yeah. Hello?
Andrew, yes, go ahead.
Yeah. Now, interesting, Claire. The way I see the grants, and especially the objective part, it is like, I think the critical thing we must put when we are looking for a grant is to understand the other person is the donor's interests. Quite often he has interests. Some of them are strategic, some of them are longer term, which you may not see.
Yes.
From your discussion, I see that as a critical aspect. In my own understanding, the grant may be free, but it's not very free. It is also, in a way, helping the other person to meet his objective. That's what I've got it. So the better you match, you target your issue to addressing the other hidden interest or hidden or exposed the interest of the donor.
Yes, please.
I think that would be one of the key to being funded. I was asking for the factors that lead to failure, but I think I'm identifying one from your presentation is the ability to understand the other person's interests. Thank you very much, the funder.
Thank you very much, Andrew. I mentioned that as I talked about how to mobilize resources. When you make the list, you remember?
Yes.
That
yes.
when you make the list of these donors, whatever they do has to be in line with donor identification. Get to know their thematic areas. Get to know what they fund. They're going to give you the money only and only when what you're proposing fits into their objectives. So once you implement, on your side you're achieving, but on their side they're actually achieving more because for them they have the money and yours is to implement. That's why you see whatever we do, we report to them. So thank you very much, Andrew. Ensure that whatever you're proposing to is in line with the funders' expectations and objectives. Thank you. Any other question?
Claire?
Yes, please.
My
Joshua?
question,
Yes, Joshua.
I'm looking for like motivation.
Okay.
What has been your success rate? And what are some of the partners you've worked with?
Success rate in terms of looking for money.
Yeah.
Okay. My work with the Renewable Energy Business Incubator, I've been looking for money since 2012. I have got money from the Norwegian government. I have got money from GIZ. I have got money from the Norwegian Embassy here in Kampala. And some partnerships have come in, not directly, but we've got some money from the European Union through other partners, where they get the money and they look out for us as partners. Does that give you confidence, Joshua? And for these proposals, I actually write them myself and submit on behalf of the organization.
Yes, Claire. That has been answered. Thank you.
And like Andrew mentioned, I take time and look at the thematic areas of the specific companies and organizations. We are in renewable energy, and we get to know that one of the sectors that these governments or partners fund is renewable energy. They fund business development, they fund skills development. So I write a proposal for skilling when I very much know that one of their thematic areas is capacity building. And I propose to them. And once you gain trust with these funders, there are even times when they just call you in for a meeting and they request you to write a proposal. Like I mentioned, once you gain trust, meaning they have given you money before and you've worked well. Okay, thank you. Can I please request for feedback from all of us in the chat on how today's session has been?
Claire.
Yes, Joshua.
One more thing. How do you account? What are the modes of accountability?
Okay. For example, for our organization, when we, okay, I'll give an example. For GIZ, they have templates and they inform you, this is how you account for. If you need, I'll give an example. If you're saying you hired a vehicle, okay? And you went to Namutumba, you must inform them of the vehicle number plate. You must give the receipt for the fuel. You must present the mileage. Now, when someone gets to Google, they'll type in distance between Kampala and Namutumba, and they can relate, because you may not have stopped in town, but at least the few kilometers you've taken inside can be reflected. Then there are some funders who will leave it open to you to account. One thing they need to know, do you have an accountant? Do you have an auditor? Even if you don't have an auditor, how have you been accounting previously? Okay, so some funders want quarterly, some funders want 6 months, some funders want annual reports. Now, in the report, you indicate the narrative part, what the outputs we set out. We shall do the outputs tomorrow. The outputs that we set out, what have we achieved so far? How much have we spent on these outputs? That the funder can relate what you've achieved vis-a-vis the expenditure, what we do call a cost benefit, to see really, is it worth funding you again or giving you more money? So you must have all your records in order. Sometimes when you're starting up, you might not have an accounting system, but as you go ahead, it's good to have an accounting system where it's very easy to generate these financial reports. And each report is backed up by some funders request for actual receipts, like hard copy, and they tell you, bring us the file. And they look at these receipts to check actually, is there any forged signature? For example, Claire went to Namutumba, she signed. Claire went to Gulu, she signed. Claire went to Nsambia, she signed. But the same Claire who went to Gulu and Nsambia and Namutumba have 2 different signatures. Then there are those funders who only look for the audited accounts, and they don't have time to look into your receipts. We've worked with the Nordic Climate Facility. It's a Scandinavian funder, number of Scandinavian countries, the Nordic states. And for them, they need the hard copy, like you scan. For some projects, you scan these receipts and send to them. So in the financial template, you're indicating receipt number, this, you're indicating the activity and the amount, and they can sample and see that these receipts are really in, and they approve your report. So get to understand the funders' accountability requirements as you're getting to start the project, so that you don't mess. So that they don't, you might use the money, your records are not done well, but you've actually used the money. So at the time of reporting 1 year down the road, you're looking for receipts left, right, and center. So it's better, keep all your records well, request for a funder's template if it is there. If it is not, find your own means of reporting properly. Even if you don't have an accounting system, you can use Excel. Excel will serve you well, okay? As long as you have evidence of all the expenditure. Joshua, have I answered? Joshua?
It's clear. Yes, clear. It's clear now.
Colleagues, kindly share your feedback. I've not seen any chats coming in.
So yes, we have some chats here.
Okay.
Claire.
Yes, please.
Is it okay I read through the chats?
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yes. I'll begin with LC. LC is saying the session is very educative. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nabagesera Juliet. It has been very interesting, and I have gained a lot from it. Expecting the same tomorrow. That's Juliet.
Thank you very much, Juliet.
Then Bridget, thank you, Claire, for today's session and time. This is a good start to a masterclass. I have learned something today, mostly on the idea of forming consortiums to seek funding and how to start off a good proposal with compelling introduction. That's Bridget.
Bridget?
Then Yakubu Birunji. Yakubu Birunji is good presentation. I only have problems with requirement for financials and the number of years in existence. Sometimes you badly need money to start, but conditions are tight. Otherwise, good lessons learned. Good lessons learned.
Thank you very much, Yakub.
Purity M. Please ask Claire to check her inbox. I think this goes to you.
On my email?
No, I think your inbox on the chat, the Zoom chat.
I'm on the Zoom chat. How does the donor gain, or even more, where does donor get his money? Okay, Purity, I will respond.
I think that's all from the chat room.
Joshua, Monique, Ivan, can you please share some feedback? Andrew, we've had so many people here. Can you please share some feedback? Thank you, Elsie. Thanks for clarifying on the need for first understanding the potential donors.
Yes, Andrew.
Okay.
Andrew has shared in the chat room. Thanks for clarifying on the need to first seek to understand the potential donors' interest or objectives as a guide to target your project proposal, i.e., harmonization of either partners' objectives.
Yeah, I've understood that.
NB, seek to understand the other party, in brackets donor, before you understand, in bracket proposal. Then we have Purity. Purity is saying, thank you for this. It has been interactive and nice. I hope to win more grants.
Purity.
Joshua has also shared something here. Joshua is saying, thank you for the presentation, Claire. Can we get the slides?
Yes, Joshua, they will be shared.
From the chat, that's all.
Okay. Thank you very much, participants. Thank you very much, Imuka team. Ivan, you have something?
Yes, I wanted to thank you for the interaction we've had, for the great insights and the touch on you have had based on the experience you've had. Me, I've benefited a lot, and I've actually appreciated the template you've just seen. It's so nice, like it can just guide anyone in case the request is not that specific. Thank you so much, and I hope everyone has learned the way I've done. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ivan. Yeah, I'm seeing a comment from Monique here. Being nice to join, hope to do better. I'm learning. I know I'll start on a good footing. Monique is starting. Okay. Yes. Closure for today. We have the templates. We all see what I have displayed. Okay. I request you to get to the...
On my side, it's okay.
To get to the case study, and you're going, because you've been writing proposals. at least I was getting the sentiment. We've been writing proposals, some we don't get to win. What is the trick? So we are going to actually start on our proposal development, because we said this is a practical session. So get into the case study, and you're going to propose problems, propose solutions, and the project description where we have stopped today. You see my screen? So this exercise is going to be shared by Humphrey. We are going to get to our template and do some work. Then tomorrow morning, we shall have a few minutes for us to present. And
I cannot see the screen.
Pardon?
I can't see a screen. I can see you.
You can see me.
Yes, there I can see it.
I'm wondering why this one is not moving.
I can see it now.
Okay. This is what we've shared today. You see,
yes.
Writing content. The content is here. So we are going to go to, I just want to get clarity. Have we all seen the case study? And this information is needed in that case study. So you're going to propose your own problem. Probably you already had some proposals you had written, okay? You're going to propose a problem, you're going to propose solutions and an objective according to what we've shared in this masterclass. You're free to go and do more research, okay? Tomorrow morning, we shall have a few minutes, the first 15 minutes to present, first 15 or 20 minutes to present, and then we get feedback from our colleagues, okay? And also from the facilitator. Is that okay? Can I get a thumbs up?
How many pages?
For the start, don't exceed 2.
Okay.
So you're writing a concept, we're doing a concept note?
But, okay,
Summary.
really, basically, it should be a summary. It should be a summary.
Summary.
Yes.
Okay.
So don't exceed 2 pages. But the feedback tomorrow will help us to improve. Yes, Purity?
No, I'm fine. I have no problem. All is well.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank you all very much for today's session. Thank you for being open and bringing out all the questions. I hope I've done my best to give clarity and responses. Do we have any words from Imuka, Humphrey, or Roy?
I would like to thank all the participants. The session has been very interactive. I hope tomorrow it will be the same. Please remember to keep time. It starts at 9, so by at least 59, you must be on the call, so that we move on together. We don't want to leave anyone out. And feel free to ask any question, because on the Zoom call, this is the time you have. You ask any question where you feel like you have any query. Please feel free to raise it. You can share it on the Zoom or onto our email address, the one I used to share with you the Zoom details. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Humphrey. Thank you very much, participants. Please attempt the exercise. I wish you a blessed day. See you tomorrow.
Hello.
9. Yes, please.
I'm kindly requesting Joshua and no, we shall sort ourselves. Thank you.
Okay, please. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Self-sorting. Nice time. Thank you.
Is it the same link tomorrow?
It's the same link.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. Roy, you have something? I see you're coming back to the session. Hello, Roy? Hello, Roy? Roy is just joining as we are closing. I don't know if he has something he would like to tell us. Yes, Roy, please speak to us in a minute. Roy?
Maybe we'll share tomorrow because we are out of time, and I think we should try as hard to keep time.
Okay, please. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. In case of any clarity, you can reach me on my WhatsApp. Okay? Thank you. Bye. Thank you so much, Humphrey. Have a good day.
It's clear. My laptop went off. Huh?
Okay. Sorry. We have closed. Yes, please speak to us. A few people are here, I think. I'm seeing Bridget, Elsie, and Paul. We've ended, Roy. Anything? Probably when the other colleagues leave, we have something to communicate.
No, I'll just like the participants to pay attention to the assignments you provided for them to maximize and benefit from this training. So I'd like to encourage the participants to take on this, and then let's catch up tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roy. Okay, bye-bye.